Southern California is burning. The emotional cost to residents' lives off the scale. There is another cost too, a literal one, which is being felt here. And it's because of these things, avocados.
To date, 237,000 acres have been burned, many of them avocado groves.
Ventura County, north of Los Angeles, calls itself the avocado capital of the world. But in the space of a week and a half, nature has destroyed much of her precious crops, and she's not done yet. Financially, what kind of impact is this going to have on you?
Oh, it's huge.
This was Jason's ranch as he watched it burn, helpless to stop the flames. In the cold light of day, much of it is now gone, along with potential profit.
We lost roughly 200 acres at probably 12 to 15,000 pounds an acre. So you figure that's somewhere around 2-3 million pounds of fruit plus. So, you know, just take 25% of your income and get rid of it. But, you know, all year we've been ready to pick. We're 1 month from starting our harvest. So it's basically, it's just a loss across the board.
The issue here is not just the fires, but also the wind. You see, there is a local weather system here. It's called the Santa Ana winds. It blasts hot gusts of air across this part of California. That's been what's making the fires spread, but also it's been knocking avocados down from the trees onto the ground. The second they touch the floor, that is it. They can no longer be sold under food standard regulations. Effectively, they are now garbage.
It's still kind of processing, but we've started the rebuild, I guess. We're trying to save some trees that we can and get the infrastructure back, and it's nice to be working, I guess, and creating again rather than watching something destroy everything you've worked at for basically my whole life. I'm third generation, so my family's been here 60 years.
Americans get through around 2 billion pounds of avocados every year, but only a third of them are actually grown in California. Other countries, predominantly Mexico, send the rest. And even though these fires have been disastrous by any measure, it could have all been much worse. Here's why.
Avocados are alternate bearing, so 1 year they can be on, 1 year they're off. So we already had a crop much larger than last year. While we will see some impact on this year's crop going into this season, I think overall our supplies will be very strong and very steady coming out of California.
90% of avocados grown in the US come from this state. 80% of its lemons too, and they are in the same position. This is a place that relies on agriculture. Fire and winds are the last things it needed.
It's a tragedy, but we're definitely not going to sit around feeling sorry for ourselves. So we'll just, take all the support we can get from each other, the government, and then just make the best out of a very sad and kind of just unfortunate situation.
There is little else they can do. Lavelle, CGTN, Ventura County, California.